Alright mate, Slimy here, and I want to tell a little bit of a stupid story that's just happened on this server. Now this is my friend's server, this is Maid's server, and basically, see this building over here, this is where I'm keeping my villagers now, because over there I had like a dirt shack, and well it was more or less a temporary measure, just for a little bit of context. I originally had a villager in there, well, two villagers in there that I'd called, they were both nitwits, and I had like no actual like place to place them in that. So I just locked them in a dirt shack and then used them for like, you know, like breeding stuff and that. And for a fun little bit of trivia, I did call them Todd Howard and Hod Howard just because I thought it was funny. But what happened is I just never got around to building like an actual villager place. So what ended up happening is I just kept my villagers in there. Now obviously a place made out of dirt isn't really like suited for like a long-term thing, and I always planned on building like an actual place to keep villagers in. However, I just never got around to it. And what this actually resulted in is quite possibly the single stupidest event I've ever seen in Minecraft. Now, I was over here building this when this all happened. And two Endermen had spawned just over there, I think. And, like, iron golems were all spawning in around, like, the base and that. And there was also a skeleton and a creeper around in that area. Anyway, these Endermen had, like, spawned in, and the two of them had done what Endermen are most known for, and just, like, yoinked the hell out of the two like dirt blocks, but they yoinked specifically the two dirt blocks that were like exactly right next to each other. And what that resulted in was a 2 tall by 1 wide hole being made in the wall where all the villagers are sleeping, and already you can see a bit of a problem arising. Anyway, for some reason a skeleton and a creeper walk in there, right? And I think, well, these two don't attack villagers or won't really intervene. Anyway, the skeleton is a paranoid skeleton, immediately sees the iron golem barreling towards it and starts machine gunning down in that direction. And that's where the problem starts. The creeper's in the way, and creepers, as you know, can be a bit funny about being shot at. Most of the time they don't really mind it, but this time this one took specific aggro at the skeleton that was aiming at the iron golem. And this creeper was just stood right in the middle of where all the beds were, and detonated and killed half of me villagers. So now the dirt shack is completely like destroyed, the skeleton's dead, the iron golem's running around, and what villagers are still like alive and are like open to the elements and that. And this is where the zombies come in. A big horde of zombies come in, and you think, oh, it can't get worse than this. But it does get worse than this, because the zombies come in and start turning the villagers who are now all running around and panicking. And the ones that get turned, well, the iron golem thinks he's a JoJo protagonist and starts slamming his fists into the face. So now pretty much all of me villagers are being killed off by the iron golem who's supposed to protect him. And, well, I was left with about 5 villagers. One of which got killed by a drowned who was throwing a trident. And the other one decided that he was going to go over to me composter and then start pulling up all me wheat and replacing it with beetroot. So I had to get rid of him. So the only ones that I had left were a librarian and a blacksmith. So you got the duo of where do you work out at the library. And I did manage to scoop up them last 2 remaining guys and then bring them back to that like villager hotel and make it. But bear in mind, I was over there when that all happened. And Mojang are always on all about that idea of if something happens, it has to be the player's fault. And, well, I wasn't there. So, are you really going to say it was my fault whenever it was just 2 Endermen, like, messing around and throwing me stuff around? Which led to an iron golem just decimating my entire village for literally no reason. Anyway, if you like this daft little story, hopefully I have actually done what I planned to do and did a really crappy MS Paint depiction of like the story. If you like that, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Bye!